We're good.
Good? Oh, okay. Alright, first and foremost, we want to say
Kahala Yahweh wa Yahushai. Yep.
Ba'ashim, Wakar Kadash, the double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Today we're going to talk about the wickedness of our people and why our people are in the state that they are in today according to what they did in their past life. Because what people lack to understand is, especially our people, is that there's a reason for everything. There's a reason why, we're under so many curses and we're paying so many taxes. How you doing, Mo? Not much, man. How you doing? Good? Nothing, just chilling. Good, man. But and there's a reason why we're under the curses. There's a reason why, no matter what we do as Israelites, we're always on the bottom, following the curses. Alright? And what you always see Jake, both especially female Israelites, saying is, why me? Why is this always happening to me? Why am I always going through this? Well, the answer is here now. You got men all over the world who are speaking the truth and have answered as to the reason why we're all going through all this. Because I say this time to time, but it is, can you get the precept? Can you get that Isaiah, we're going to read Isaiah chapter 5. Let's start from here, we're going to read down to the 30th verse. There's a reason why, because it's like I say this from time to time, but it's worse, it's already worse enough to go through hell, but even worse to go through hell and not know why you're going through it. Then how can you repent if you don't know why you're going through hell?
Yeah, that's true, man. Because
Right?
a lot of our people, like Amakada Sarumayor, they pretty much talk about the black woman and why they're a curse, and this and that, and how black men should not be dating them anymore. Because there's multiple of our people, over the YouTube who complain, but they don't have the answers to why, our women are,
fucked up,
yeah, you know what I mean?
jacked
Like,
up.
the things that they do, and why they do them, they don't have the answer to it. They just know,
That they do this
yeah,
stuff.
they just know of the things that they do and that it's wicked and that it's bad, but they don't know why they're like that. But every other nation out there, almost, not I'm not 100%, but they got their women in order, man.
Yeah.
Except that the black woman is the worst out of all, all of the women, man. So like the brother said, man, we got answers because the scriptures talk about it. The scriptures talks about why, for us shall be able to work, the children, of our bosom and so on and on, man. The book of Isaiah chapter 5 verse 3. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What
Vineyard is his people, right? And that's what we're doing right now. That same line right there is what's happening right now. And it's not just Judah now, but it's all of Israel. Okay, you got 12 tribes, 12 men from each tribe that are explaining the truth. They're basically the mediators between Israel and the Lord, hence the prophets. The first mediator, an official mediator, is Yahushua. Then comes with the prophets, because Yahushua mediated between us and the Lord for us to even be brought back into the Lord's favor, into the Lord's grace. And then it trickles down to the prophets who explain why this is happening, why this is, and hence what we're doing right now. So the same thing is happening in today's time.
And it says, what could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes.
That's a parabolic, man, because we were supposed to, when you plant the yard, you plant the seed, and you grow a nice plant, and the grapes from that plant, depending on how well you nurtured that seed, those grapes will be full and ripe, or they'll be wild and stale and not as not as abundant as it could be. Right? And that's Israel.
And it says, and now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof,
Right?
and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down.
That's right. Now, the hedge and the wall that it's talking about, when you have a hedge and when you have a wall, that's a representation of protection. Imagine if you had a house but it had no walls. What's the point of having the house? It's the same thing. So the Most High's hedge and wall was around us when we were obeying Him, when we were doing what we were supposed to do, when we were following His instructions according to His word. But as soon as we started to disobey Him and praise other gods, false gods, and started becoming wicked, then He started taking His hand off of us and taking that protection off. And that's why we started end up in the state that we are in now.
Exactly. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 22. Let the multitude perish therein, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
Really good precept.
That's right, man. So, within that, there's an elect, man. Just like, like what we're talking about, man. Within, that vineyard, that grape, that multitude, okay? The ones that were made to be perished, in vain are going to die in vain. But the grape, which is the elect of the Lord, are the ones that the Lord Yahweh Shai. Exactly. Yeah.
Watering that
up the dope.
He's been watering that plant and such.
Yeah,
Drugs are doing bad things to your mind.
What about you, man?
We're on drugs because we're speaking the truth.
You're smoking, you're killing yourself, man. But anyways, man, that's just Satan. But, just like as I was saying, man, within that, the Lord has an elect, which is that ones that He made perfect, man. Let me read that again. Let the multitude perish therein. As-salakia. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 22. Let the multitude perish therein, which was born in vain. And let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
Great labor, man. That means, because it's not, man, people think, it's crazy how much people think, this is easy to do, or it's easy to obtain the Lord's knowledge. It is absolutely the hardest thing you can do on this planet is serve the Most High, because you're in a world that's completely against the Most High. So serving Him would be that much strength. It would be very strenuous, not just physically but mentally, man. So through great labor, His grapes have. It said, what does it say? It's like
Salakia,
okay,
bro.
so it's not to find.
No, I got it. And it says, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
Made it perfect.
Yeah.
So that's the journey, man.
Yeah.
How many of you Christians none of you Christians think about being perfect.
Yeah.
That's why you're always fucking up. I mean, yeah, we know right now we're not perfect, but like the old saying goes, if you shoot for the moon and you miss, at least you land among the stars. So the goal is to be made perfect. You think we want to live in this kind of body for the rest of our lives? Where we're constantly fighting, we're constantly sinning when we don't want to sin. And we're constantly doing things that we don't want to do. Eventually it has to end, man. Eventually we have to reach that perfection, which is being sealed first and foremost. Not taking the chip and being sealed so that we can get beamed up and get these new bodies, man.
Yeah. Matthew 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
There you go.
That's what you should strive to be, man. Yes, I know, that we're in the flesh, whatever. But, in your mind, man, you can at least, try, man. The end goal is to try, because you got people who got a defeated spirit. Although, we understand that we're not going to be perfect in these bodies, but guess what, man? We try on a daily basis not to sin, man.
That's right, man.
But we understand that we will sin, because that's a part of the scriptures, right? But in our minds, man, we try to do it the perfect way, man.
Man, it's about building that ultimate resilience. Yeah. To be resilient, man.
Yeah.
You guys watch these athletes, these professional athletes, and you watch their biography or their documentary. No matter what they went through, they always kept pushing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Some of them lost family members.
They kept their eyes on the prize.
Exactly. Some of them lost family members. Isaiah Thomas had to play a whole game while his sister was dying, was dead. Don't you think the same rules apply to this? When all hell breaks loose, which will be soon, and and the elites, they try to tempt us to take the trip through our family members, the people you love. You have to build that resilience now. Right now is the time to build that resilience, because if you're not building that resilience now, 120% you will not have it in the end.
Yeah.
You will succumb to that right away, because you weren't constantly trying to strive when you were going through hell.
Yeah,
at the same time, Saki,
go ahead,
at the same time, don't put yourself in a situation. Don't purposely put yourself in a situation where you have to be resilient, be mindful, and play things in moderation. But if you're going through your everyday life and something bad happens to you, fucking take it on like a challenge. Be like, okay, this is my time to show. This is my perfect opportunity to build this.
Yeah.
Exactly,
man. Because there's a lot of people who wait for the night before to study for an exam. Right? With this thing, this is totally different than that, man. This is life and death, man. This is you saving your children if you have any, saving your wife, you know what I mean? This is the ultimate goal, man. Receiving that crown from Yahweh Shai, man. From Yahweh Shai personally himself, he's going to put that crown on you, man. This, you can't wait for the night before. That's why the scripture says that the Lord's going to come as a thief in the night, you know what I mean? It's meaning that, he's going to come, and catch you off guard, man. You got to prepare yourself not right now, but yesterday, man. You got to prepare yourself yesterday for the time that Yahweh Shai, is about to return, man. And the hell, that's going to come with you just knowing this truth, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's what they say,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
That's what it's all about, man.
That's right, huh? That's right. Back in Isaiah chapter 5, verse 6 now. I'm reading verse 5 again, just to kind of get a summary of what we read. Yeah. And now go to, I will tell you what I will do with my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. And I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned nor digged, and there shall come up briars and thorns. And I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it.
You know what the clouds and rain represent? Because to be fruitful and grow properly, we need rain. You need rain, right? Well, at a certain time, what's the only thing that can help Israel grow and be fruitful, and healthy properly? It's the scriptures, man. These living waters.
The water.
The waters, man. At one point, none of us knew the truth. None of us. At one point, all of Israel was Gentiles. All of us. So none of us knew who we were. And even if we had a small inclination of who we were, it wasn't to such a strong detail that we could say, I'm Israel, you're Judah, you're Benjamin, and this is the truth. That stuff just started happening with our elders, right? And now we're at a time where rain is falling, man. Rain is falling on the right fruits.
Yeah, we're even at a time where the wicked of our people at least know who they are, man.
That's
I think it was, our Quavo, he was like, said something. Yeah, he said something about, we shouldn't be eating pork no more because the Lord said, that, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're watching the apostles, man.
So although he's wicked or whatever, at least he knows,
he's
what?
Israel, I shouldn't be eating that shit.
Exactly. He said that, he was going to cut pork out of his diet, man. Because the Lord said it, man.
And you know what's crazy, man? That's crazy. Because a lot of these athletes, too, these NBA players are like vegans.
Yeah.
They don't want to, because they know even the meat we eat today is horrible.
Yeah.
Like Damian Lillard is a vegan. There was also another one, the big guy on Golden State Warriors, the tallest, he's 7 foot. He's fucking dumb.
Joel McGee.
Yeah, Joel McGee, yeah.
Fucking dumb.
Yeah, he's a dumb player.
I knew you were talking about right there when you said dumb.
Yeah, the way he plays. Joel McGee's a vegan too. And he's not a smart character in my eyes by any means, but he knows enough to, I need to be eating right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's, like the brother says, we're at a point where even the wickedness of our people know that they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. At least they're aware of it.
Yeah. Hey,
It shows you the power of the truth.
exactly, man. It's it's out there, it's spreading, and and the things that make sense to them, although they're wicked, you know what? They're gonna try to change it, man. Only the things that make sense to them, because this truth is not about what makes sense to you. It's about accepting the whole thing, right? But with them, they're accepting some of the things that actually make sense to them, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is don't be eating pork, because what benefit does it do for you? There is literally no such good thing that pork does for you, man.
There's no sign. There's no scientist can tell you that it does this for your immune system or it helps you boost this.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Exactly. But obviously, of course, if you go on Google and you search it up, of course you're gonna find
They have to sell the product to you.
Yeah, exactly. You can find whatever you want to find on Google, man.
It's true. Whatever you want to hear.
Yeah.
Just getting the truth.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like if you're looking for negativity, you will find it.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something positive, you'll find it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's why you need discernment.
exactly.
Man, on that shit.
Yeah. You need to know what's
Strong
right.
discernment, because if you don't have discernment, you're gonna get lost in the sauce.
Yeah. Exactly. And it says.
Yeah, man.
How you doing?
I'm an introvert.
Good, good.
Who gets saved? Why?
Oh, yo, that's righteous, bro.
Who gets saved?
What is it?
Who gets saved?
Yeah, look at that.
You should be hearing this word. It's
Yeah.
true. It's
Who
real
gets
shit.
saved? Go.
Yeah, that's.
You shouldn't even know what we do.
Look at that.
You shouldn't even know what we do or what we look like. We don't look like Christians by any means. But she knows in the spirit, go get saved. That's crazy.
Like I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I know.
right?
That's coming from a woman.
Yeah,
crazy.
from a cat at a woman.
Yeah, I got that woman. He's just trying to get that piece of ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay. She's like, get out of here. Go get saved. You don't need me right now. Go get saved. The guy's like, nah. I want that ass. That's an example of what we just finished talking about. How even the wickedness of our people have some kind of inclination of what should be happening.
Yeah.
Like we do not look like Christians by any means, the Christians of these world.
Yeah.
But she knows to say that somehow you're gonna get saved if you listen to this.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Come. And it says right here, verse 6, and I will lay it waste, and it shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up barriers and thorns. I will also command the clouds that there rain no rain upon it, for the vineyard of the Lord Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel. Okay, so here it is. It's just about to explain, man. Which is beautiful. For the vineyard of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry.
That's right. That's right.
And it said,
Crying out right now, man.
that's right. Verse 8, woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, there till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth.
And that's what these Edomites did when they came to this land, man. Over to the Western Hemisphere. And they came here and then they conquered this land and threw down the North American Indians that were here. They started building quick. Now everything that we walk on is gravel, or cement, or pavement of some sort.
Yeah.
You think back in the day they used to walk on pavement and cement? The only reason why we have roads is so these Edomites can have cars up here, man. And so that, and then with having cars out here, you know how much CO2 gets up in the air? There was a quick, I don't remember roughly paraphrasing. There was like this video I was watching on YouTube, and it was talking about there is. Not a video. My niece's dad was telling me about this. He's a mechanic. He says the amount of cars that we have on the planet right now, the amount of CO2 that's on the Earth, there's a big amount of CO2 on the Earth, and 95% of it comes from cars. That's like not just, that's the whole world, including places that don't have vehicles. Those tribes are not in contact with the civilization and shit. Yeah. Including all those places, 95% of it comes from vehicles, man. Tell me, and Esau's all about bettering the environment. Tell him to take that shit away. He'll laugh at you. You know how much money vehicles make this guy?
Yeah, because of gas, right?
Exactly, because of gas.
Yeah, they have these new age vehicles that were actually invented a while ago that does not require gas. But you can just charge that vehicle, man. But of course, they're not gonna bring it out to the media or to the masses because they need you to go and pay for fucking gas.
And
man.
they want more money. Just like any salesman.
Yeah.
So that shows you that for you guys and our people that entrust in the government and the system, you're fools.
Yeah.
Because the system is not about you. The system is about using you.
Yeah.
That's all it's about.
That's why you have a social security number.
That's like your, when you branch a cow,
Yeah.
that's your branch, man. That's your stand.
Yeah, and that's why, if you try to commit suicide or whatever it is, like if you try to harm yourself, guess what? If Esau finds out, they'll punish you and make you pay up, man.
Yeah,
why? Because you belong, to the government as a
as a property.
yeah, as a property, and you work for them, so you're what's it called?
Taken away from their resources.
Yeah,
in some sense.
like you belong to them, so you are an employee of them.
Yeah.
So if you try to take yourself out, he's gonna try to get the most out of you.
Yeah,
but,
you're ruining the business.
Yeah.
So you have to get the most out of it before you take yourself out.
yeah, for example, there was this one lady, that I know of, and she tried to commit suicide, and then, the government, pretty much, they put her, yeah, they put her in a position where, she had to pay up, 10 grand because she tried to kill herself, man. It's like what? Like I'm trying to kill myself. Like help me. Why the fuck are you making me? Paying you money?
Fine. Do what you gotta do. Just give me your money. Give me your resources.
You know what I mean?
I don't give a shit about you, man.
So that goes to show you, man.
Is she a Jake?
I believe so. I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe so.
Because even Esau would do that shit. Does the same shit to his own people, man. He gives no shits. Look at this guy. You want it, don't you? You really want it. Anyhow, there's another thing on a side tangent too. I was talking to Mason, he was watching this video, and he was saying, I don't know, I think in Massachusetts, but certain states in USA, you could actually get charged for cheating on your woman. Like monogamy is for mono, right? One-on-one.
What about the other way around?
So polygamy. So for instance,
like if she tries to cheat on you, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, it should work the other way around. But you know what? I don't know the details on that side, but I bet you anything just by knowing Esau's character, it's probably less of a charge on her than it is on that.
Of course, they don't
Right?
fit.
Yeah, of course. But if you have a woman, in certain states in America, and you go cheat on her, so-called cheat on her. Esau, that woman can call the cops and you get a charge, bro. You get a fine up to $5 grand.
Yeah.
$5,000 to be cheating on somebody. So-called cheating on somebody. Show you, man. Esau, man, in any way or form, this society is for you women, man.
Yeah.
It is. The feminine energy runs this place, man.
Yo, I just recently saw a post on Instagram, a guy, he wore a gown, and the hat and everything, and the caption said, I just graduated from paying child support, it's been a long 18 years of my life. I fucking died, bro.
You gotta wear a cap and gown for that shit.
It's like
that shit really does feel like graduation when you're done.
Yo, he was happy, bro.
Of course. 18 years of paying child support.
It's like, it's been long 18 years, man. But that goes to show and you know what? That child probably wasn't even his.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing, man. It's a good chance if
man, and that's the hell that comes with being in this kingdom, man. Is
being
that
a man in this kingdom?
Yeah, because like they try to tell you, that I'm a this woman, I'm a they get, I'm a take, like less than man,
Yeah, they have less benefits.
Yeah, and this and that. But when you look at it, as an overall, everything caters to these women, man. Everything.
This whole society is built for you guys. That's why you guys win the most of the time.
Yeah.
In any situation between you and your husband, or between you and a man.
Yeah, and that's why, at times, I get so sick of hearing, I'm a this for women and this, I'm like, what about the men,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're regarded as almost
God
nothing.
damn, man.
Morgan Freeman now has women coming on him saying, "Me too, I got raped."
Yeah.
Me too. Yo, what about the men? I want a man to come out. Yo, a woman took advantage of me. Let me get some money. That shit will never happen. And when even if it did, it'll get no attention.
Yeah, exactly. But then they say that we're all equals. You know, they say that we're all equals, but then when you bring up examples like that, you know, they just brush it up. They're like, come on, man, like, are you serious?
Yeah, how
You know
can
what I
you
mean?
get raped from a
You're
woman?
right, exactly.
And you know, like, deep and down, like, technically and logically, it's true. Like, I also, like, in my head, if a man came up to me and said that I got raped by a woman, I'm like, man, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the point is,
logic,
but the point is, you're not being fair.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you preach. That's what you guys preach in the system.
Yeah.
You guys preach that, you know, everybody should be fair. We have equal rights, democracy, and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And there's no democracy. It's a dictatorship.
Yeah.
And and you know what? That's funny. That's how the Lord works too. But yeah, you have a reverse dictatorship because the women are being the dictators.
Yeah. Because
But men are supposed to be the dictators, man.
And you know what's crazy about it? Even with couples who are gay, you know, who are homosexuals, you know, let's say for example, you know, I'm a two women. You will always have that one who, you know, I'm a place, you know, I'm a the more dominant role, you know, you know what I mean? Right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're called dykes, right?
Yeah, dykes.
Right?
Yeah, dykes.
Yeah, you know, and then you know what?
Tomboys.
Yeah, you know, and then you have the other woman, you know, who's more softer. So even within that,
You're still trying to be.
you know what I mean? Even within homosexuals, you still have the man and the woman.
Yeah, you still have the idea. Yeah, the principle of man and woman.
You know what I mean? You know, even with men too, man.
That's fucking
You know,
twisted.
which is crazy, bro. Why don't you just go to the original? Why don't you just go to the fucking go to the fucking original, man?
That's how wicked
You know
this
what I
kingdom.
mean?
That's twisted as fuck.
That goes to show you, even when you try to force it,
Yeah.
that spirit
Still is
it's still there. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
natural way.
Crazy.
That's very true. That's actually very
Crazy. Because you know what, you will never have like two women, you know, who are gay, you know, that are, you know, yeah, you know what I mean, yeah, never,
One will take that role.
yeah. Yo, just naturally one, you know, will take, you know, that more, you know, what's the word, you know, yeah, you know, I'm a dominant, you know, more, like, I'm a aggressive, you know what I mean?
aggressive
More,
role, yeah.
you know what I mean? You know, and the other one, you know, is a lot softer, you know, and feminine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy,
crazy.
man.
That's twisted, man. That's
Yeah.
twisted.
Yeah.
No matter how far you're trying to run from the truth, you
Can't.
You can't.
Dad. Can't. You know? Yeah. And I also saw a post, you know, that, you know, somewhere in Africa, you know, there's this monkey, you know, who's a homosexual, you know, and raped like 13 men. You know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck?
Fuck, like what the hell?
Yo, I fucking started, you know, laughing my ass off, bro.
That's messed up.
You know, I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
You know what? What else? What else? You know, like that's just
I'm
how
not
that's how
surprised.
it happens, man. That's messed
I'm
up.
not surprised, man.
Monkey raping men.
13 of them apparently. How the fuck you get raped by a monkey, bro? What the fuck?
Again, this is because Esau is ruling. It's some real shit.
Yeah.
You think this? You think you hear stories that we're talking about right now in the kingdom?
Yeah, well, man.
Are you mad?
Yeah.
Even the animals are gonna be in their right mind. Even the animals are not even in their right mind.
Yeah, bro.
They're breathing the same air we're breathing.
Yeah. And they're committing suicide. You know, you're just
Yeah.
as humans are.
Yeah.
You know? That's crazy, man. Yeah. And it says, woe unto them that join house to house. That's right, man. You know, just like how the system is set up, man. You know, you got a lot of these houses, you know, that are right next to, you know, with each other.
Yep.
You know,
Bang,
yo,
bang, bang, bang,
you know,
bang, bang.
yeah, apartments should not exist, man. You know, like, you know, I'm a here you are, like, you know, I'm a, like, you do want to get some rest, you know, and then, you know, all you hear is the fucking neighbors, you know, making some goddamn noise, you know, you know what I mean?
Like the worst thing about it too, like the key point about it is that how the hell can the earth breathe?
Yeah.
That's the
When
fucked up
everything
thing.
is-
When everything's on top of the soil.
Yeah.
I mean, like you actually got a rule in this book about the land Sabbath, man.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. You gotta let things like you can't overdo things.
Yeah.
You can't just come. That's what Esau does, man. You get to a place, you build up camps and you build up houses and you start conquering. I mean, like it's like you gotta. It's like these like the North American Indians, so called the Gadites and Reubenites. they would have, they would have their tents and teepees and everything set up, but they would pack that shit, and that shit was even like that shit wasn't even like this, where it's like rooted into the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just something that you can cap up, and they still would pick it up and follow the land Sabbath. And that's like that again. That's like a house that's not rooted into the ground.
Yeah.
That's why I bet you anything once everything's destroyed, it's gonna be a huge smell out of all this stuff, man. Like you're destroying the earth that you live in.
Yeah.
That's why these nuclear missiles, ICBM missiles, are gonna act as a cleansing agent.
Yeah.
Real shit. They're gonna clean everything, man.
Yeah. If you don't respect it, it won't treat you right, man.
Exactly.
You know, if you don't respect the earth, it's not gonna. That's why the Lord
It's not
said.
gonna bring forth, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the spirit, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's why the Lord said that. It shall not, henceforth yield, the food, and so on and on, in its strength. You know what I mean? Because you're not treating it right, man. Even with money, if you don't respect it, like if you don't appreciate what you have, you're just gonna blow it.
Exactly.
But if you actually, like respect what you
Appreciate
have,
the work to get that,
exactly, and you actually, understand the value of it, you're going to use it wisely, man. Which is how it's going to treat you right, because it's going to buy you the things that you need for yourself. Food, whatever it is righteously that you need to nourish yourself, man. You know what I mean?
And then you know what Esau does to counteract that? Oh shit, the earth that yielded us. How you doing, man?
How are you doing?
Good, good.
Yeah.
Do you know that according to the Bible you're an Israelite?
Yeah,
We spoke a couple
yeah,
weekends ago.
yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The glasses?
Yeah, I see so many people that I don't even remember. All right, man.
Enjoy your day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take it easy.
That's the guy that we talk about points, and he said something about he said that he's gonna try to cut it out. Like I saw him.
All right. Well, back to my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what Esau does to counteract that? Oh, well, the earth's not bringing forth fruit in its strength, so let's just put pesticides on everything. When it was you who did that in the first place, man.
Yeah, it's
You
like
see the confusion?
Yeah, it's like rather than pretty much reverse engineering it, he continues to add more to it, which fucks it up even more. You know what I mean? Like, where's the logic in that? It's like, okay, go back to the first root. Okay, at first it was pretty much pure, and natural and healthy, right? And then you added stuff to it. What makes you think if you continue to add, it's gonna go back to its natural state? It won't.
Yeah.
You just gotta stop doing what the fuck you're doing and just let it grow naturally, man. That's crazy, man.
We have to start from the beginning.
Fucking
That's why we need a reset button, man.
Yeah, which is the cleansing fire.
Yeah, it's a cleanser. It goes right back. Those missiles are important, bro.
Yeah,
They
very
play a lot.
important.
They have a lot. They have a big role in this whole thing.
Yeah.
In this whole movie, man.
In the beginning of our rulership.
Yeah, in the beginning
right?
of our rulership, they have a big role of that,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That's childish to do that. You know, when the child spills something, they just put a towel over it and actually wipe it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fuck, I don't know. Just put a towel over it.
And just leave it
Yeah, it's the
there.
same idea that Esau has.
Yeah. This is funny, though. And it says, verse 9, in mine ears said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, of a truth many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair without inhabitant.
It's the spirit, man.
It's,
Speaking about
yo,
this is gonna be doing
he
that.
said of a truth, like it's
Yeah.
gonna happen, man.
Like,
You know?
that's like Jake saying, "Yo, on my mama, this is
yeah,
gonna happen." You know what I mean?
exactly.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Serious, the most high is serious, man.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Oh, my mama and my grandma.
Jake always say that. Yeah, oh my grandma.
Yeah.
On everything I love, son. That's what they always say.
Yeah. And it says, in mine ear saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, of a truth many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair without inhabitants. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield one bath, and the seed of an homer shall yield an ephah. Verse 11, woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink that continue until night, till wine inflame them.
That's right, man.
No?
And that's what's it called? that verse there is
A metaphor?
it is, but it's also like literal too. But
yeah.
what do you call it?
I'm
It's
a twofold?
Yes, twofold. It's
Yeah.
twofold, man.
Yeah.
Because literally, you have people who wake up and drink all day, drinking all day, and do nothing with themselves.
Yeah.
Especially Gad, man. Gad's huge for that. And that comes from the oppression and atrocities that they witness. But that's the result of that, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then twofold metaphorically. Read that one more time, Sake. Metaphorically,
yeah.
I had a thought right in
Yeah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning,
right.
that they may follow strong drink that continue until night, till wine inflame them.
And metaphorically, man, the wine that inflames everybody on this planet. How you doing, brother? You good?
Fine, you guys have a nice day.
You too, man. Metaphorically, the wine that's made everybody drunk in this kingdom is the ways of Esau, man. The ways of the elites. Do you know how much people, like, for instance, for example, these athletes who they wake up right in the morning getting ready to train. Their first initial train, go to the court and then play the game and go about the day. In their whole day, what do they do for the Lord? Like they get up, they're literally so drunken with the wine that actually, what's that precept from? It says we read it. Oh yeah.
Or
They say they drink of the wine.
Yeah.
Read that real quick.
Revelation, Revelation 18, verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
The drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So, her is talking about America. And now everybody, because at one point America was the sought forth city, and everyone wanted to do, even people in Russia were copying styles of Americans, of the Negroes in America, dressing and stuff like that all over the world. So now, you go back to I go back to my analogy of the athletes. They go about their day doing everything for this system, but the system has made them think they're doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
But really, what have they done for the Lord?
Exactly. Yo, it's like, it's the same thing, you know, that you said about that one coworker that you had.
Yeah.
How he pretty much used the example about how everybody wants to be Michael Jordan, but why not be
Yeah,
the person,
who gives-
you know,
who
that pays
pays
Michael
this-
Jordan,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because, you know, these athletes, you know, everything that they do, right, you think is for themselves, but they're actually making, you know,
Somebody else richer.
somebody else richer, but that person is serving Satan, bro. Because, you know,
who you really serving.
exactly, man. So, you know, there's a chain effect behind it. So, you know, you're doing your part, but you're helping someone else yeah, you know, who is, you know, pretty much in league with the ways of this world, you know, keeping this economy, you know, flowing and going, man. You know, which goes that, you know, you're a part of it. It's like, you know, the same saying, you know, like if you don't do anything, you know, you're also a part of the problem.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. That same too, also that triangle effect.
Yeah.
You know, the pyramid effect when you're doing business.
Yeah,
You're making your own money. Bro, these things, you're making your own money, but you're also making somebody else's money too.
Exactly. It's the same thing, like, as if, you know, to say, you know, like about the whole pyramid thing.
Yeah,
it's like, you know,
pyramid scheme.
like it's a pyramid scheme. Like, if you have a job, you will never, ever in your life make more than your boss. Yo, that's just logic, right? You know what I mean? Which goes to show you, you know, that it is a pyramid because you're never gonna make more than the person above you, and that person, your boss, will never make more than the person that owns the business. Yo, that's just how this world goes. So if you're an athlete, okay, and everything that you do, guess what? You will never make more than the owner that fucking owns the team and the arena, bro.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
And you know, and you know, it's crazy because some of our people realize that. Like these Jakes, this right, they realize that. That's why, in their mind, they're okay. Fuck it, because I'm really just making the white man money. Let me at least take the money I'm making, spend it on my people and my mom and all that. That's good and all and well done. But what are you doing for the source, which is the Lord?
Yeah, you know.
What are you doing for Him?
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, He's the source. He's the main source of all of it. Even Esau, even the wicked. So, and even when you're helping your family, that's still helping yourself.
Work out. God damn.
Way too big.
That's fucking crazy.
Need a couple kilometers to walk out, man.
Yeah. You know? But, you know.
Anyhow, but yeah, that's.
Honestly.
At the end of the day, like we were saying, that scripture's twofold, man.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, drinking the philosophies of this world, which is pretty much taking you out the understanding of what you need to do to serve the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, man.
Where's the okay, actually, if you get a precept, Ecclesiastes 12 and 12, the duty of man.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
That's right.
No matter what you do, you should understand that in some shape or form you have to be trying to do it for the Most High. It all goes back to Him, the Most High and His Son.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Okay.
Fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai
One.
and keep His commandments,
Two.
for this is the whole duty of man.
Simple, bro.
Yeah.
That's like you understand those those two core traits,
Yeah.
everything else will fall by its place.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
That's simple.
exactly. Because like the commandment is what, don't serve other gods, right?
Don't serve
Which,
other gods.
if you keep that, that's how you actually
You
love.
took that much wickedness away from already.
Exactly, man. Because what is love? Keeping the commandment of the Lord Yahweh Shai, right?
Exactly. That's how you show love.
So if you say that you love the Lord, okay, if you don't serve other gods, you know what I mean? Like that's you showing that you love the Lord, which pretty much, it follows through with everything else too, man. Because everything is pretty, it's the same thing like the scripture says, man. If you pretty much what's it called? If you hate your brother, you're a murderer.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's actually very true.
know?
That's deep too.
Yeah, exactly. Your brother, talking about the acting that's in the truth with you,
Yeah.
man.
Why would you hate him?
You
And Yahushua said you hate me.
Yeah.
It's true. The Yahushua is in him.
Yeah. Exactly, bro. Back in Isaiah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that
Woe
continue.
means death and destruction.
Yeah. That continue until night, till wine inflame them. And the harp of the viol, the tablet, the tabrets, and pipe and wine are in their feast, but they regard not the work of the
Yo,
Lord.
what did we just finish? That's how you know we're on point. We just finished explaining that, man. That's the spirit. You can't deny that. You just finished explaining that
crazy.
whole thing that they just said.
Yeah, but these athletes, what did you do for the Lord?
Yeah, what did you do for him?
Yeah.
Not concerning, it says not concerning themselves with the work of the Lord.
Not regarding, yeah.
Regarding the work of the Lord.
They
Don't even think about it.
But yo, that's crazy.
Man,
So,
that's crazy.
so it want to talk about how they're feasting, they're chilling,
having all the good time, right?
they're doing it all for themselves, but they do not regard the work of the Lord, man. Because the work of the Lord is denying your own flesh, man. Which that's how you get, pretty much, closer to the Lord when you fast, when you deny the things that you love to do of the pleasure, because that's what the Lord put in this flesh for, man. This flesh craves pleasure, man. Okay? But the spirit is trying to do the right thing, man.
Whether it's pleasureful or not.
Exactly. And the harps and the vials and the tabret and the pipe and wine are in their feast, but they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands.
Yeah, well, what's the operation of his hands? What the fuck? Look at the war happening, man.
Yeah.
That's the Most High doing.
Yeah.
Look at like I can't like if I was on the other side of this, I would be curious as to why there's certain people dressed like this with signs all over the world saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But they don't require what does it say again?
It says, neither consider the operation of his hands.
Operation of his hands. This is the Lord's doing. The Lord's doing, man.
Yeah.
The whole tension between Russia and America. That's the Lord's doing. Wickedness across the world. That's the Lord's doing. But no one, because and again, that's Esau's job. That's what the system's job is to do, is to keep you at bay, right? Don't look over there. Don't look at what's really happening.
Yeah.
And that's why when you get the knowledge, your eyes open, and you start to be a rebel. And you're going against everything this world is saying.
I got a precept. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 27. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Lord, and how much more after my death?
And that makes all the sense in the world. Read that again.
Huh.
Who's that? Who's speaking?
This is Salakia,
Deuteronomy. Okay.
Moses.
Oh, Moses.
Huh.
Dude, that's just like okay. Read that again. It's like,
Huh. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 27. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff-necked. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Lord, and how much more after my death?
Yo, did not Yahushua, not the same thing happened with Yahushua and the apostles? Right? When Yahushua passed away, the apostles were getting a little weak. The spirit kind of left, and they were kind of like, and the Yahushua actually got mad and cursed them out.
Yeah.
And he came back.
Yeah.
That shows you, man, Israel, we're sheeps, man. We need a shepherd. We're not a shepherd. We don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when the shepherd tells you to do something, like, nah. Literally, like, nah. Like, real shit. And you get your whole disposition needs a shepherd.
Yeah, it's kind of like that whole saying about, in the scriptures, that it's easier for a camel to go through through an eye of a needle. That's like Jake, man, because like it's not talking about literally, because in the Middle East, to get a camel, to actually I'm a dug down, and you know what I mean, and actually go through that
small spaces.
Exactly, through small spaces. Yo, camels are fucking stubborn, man. They won't do that shit no matter what the fuck we do, man. But it's easier for that to happen, than a rich man to,
enter the kingdom,
right? I'm enter, into the kingdom, which the kingdom is what? This knowledge, man. You know what I mean?
That's why you'll never see Jay-Z or any of these guys, Chris Brown, doing this work. Never, man.
Yeah.
That analogy analogy alone explains everything.
Verse 13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. You're fucking dumb, bro.
Yeah, man. Man, I laugh. It's laughable. It's like holy crap.
It's simple.
Like, I can't believe you're that deniable, or that you have so much. You deny the Lord so much.
Right?
Yeah, undeniable. You're that undeniable that you can't comprehend what's simple.
Yeah. Because you try to make it complicated. It's not complicated. This society and these people, these heathens, okay, they try to take something that's simple and make it complicated to make them seem like they're smart. But we're the opposite, man. It's simple. 1 + 1 is fucking 2. You got people who say,
maybe if you kind of cut 2 in half or whatever.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or, just say, it's 2 to you, but to me, I feel like, tomorrow, it might be 2.5. Bro, shut the fuck up, bro. 1 + 1 is 2, and that's it, bro.
Black and white.
You know what I mean?
Simple as that, man. There's very few things in life, in general, or in the truth in general, that you can kind of see. Or better yet, where it's not black and white. There's very few things in truth and in life that are not black and white. Very few, and even the ones that aren't black and white, when you dig deeper, it ends up falling back to black and white. It's either one way or the other.
Yeah, which is the truth or false.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
There's no in between, or there's no, me and you have, yes, we have our own opinion.
Agree to
but
disagree,
there's,
they say.
exactly. But there's one truth, and between those two, okay, one of them got the truth. You can have your opinion all you want, but at the end of the day, the truth will stand alone, and that's it.
That's why it's a matter of time, man. That's why, I don't pay mind to argue with you Christians or any of you that are not in this truth. I don't pay mind to argue with you, because at the end of the day, time will tell.
That's
we'll
it.
See who's right.
Exactly.
Trust me, we will see who's right.
It says, therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitudes dried up with thirst. Jeremiah chapter...
Thirst of what? Thirst of knowledge. They don't have the truth.
Exactly. No water.
No water, and they are completely dried up, man.
That's right. And that scripture that we read earlier, which is in the book of Isaiah 2, talks about, pretty much...
The cloud,
let no rain upon it. Which
no rain falling in those churches, man.
Yeah.
The rain's happening right here.
Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 14. Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble.
Yo, so-
That's from the Lord, man.
So why do you get mad at us when we're harsh?
Yeah.
The Lord Himself said, "Don't cry for these people, nor do you ever, nor pray for them, because they told them the truth, they didn't listen, so that's it." You know, you ever be a kid, you have siblings, and your brother's is about to get an ass whooping, you kind of feel bad. You kind of jump in front of it, your dad's like, "Excuse me? Get out of my way, he deserves this beat."
Yeah.
Same thing.
And it says, verse 14, therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he hath rejoiced shall descend into it. And the mean men shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. That was verse 15. Verse 16. But the Lord of hosts, Yahweh, shall be exalted in judgment, and Yahweh Bashem Shai, that is holy, shall be sanctified in righteousness.
Right, exalted in judgment, because it's not until judgment really falls upon this earth that the Most High is going to be exalted.
Yeah.
Because then we'll know who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, and who did it? What
Yeah,
power, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Who did it, what power did it?
Yeah, because in the time of Egypt, the Lord pretty much hardened Pharaoh's heart so he could show his power. Because people, obviously, that's why the magicians of Egypt did a few of the, of the miracles that Moses, did. Because
they want to be.
because they were like, what good, is your God, if we could do the same thing, but until Moses, pretty much, made the seas, and the waters of blood, that's when they couldn't do that.
Yeah,
and then, they were like, whoa.
Even in the movie too, you watch the movie, they take powder, and it's not the same. Like Pharaoh puts his hand through the powdered red, and it's just like water. Then he puts his hand through the blood, and it's like actual, it's like silky blood. The blood's a little thicker.
Yeah.
All credit has to go back to the Most High.
And the Lord kind of made it in a way where it was kind of like a competition. But the Lord just wanted to be exactly. The Lord just wanted people to continue to not believe in Him, just for that moment. Until until that big moment was when He did something that people were like, whoa. Not even the magicians not even the magicians of Egypt could do this, man.
Right. Yeah, because the greater the haters, the more it shines.
Exactly. That's wrong. And it says, verse 19, that say, it's a lot here. I read verse 16. Yeah, you're right. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and Yahweh is holy, that is holy, shall be sanctified in righteousness. Then shall the lambs feed after their manner, and the waste place of the fat ones shall strangers eat. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as it were with a cart rope, that say, let him make speed and haste his work, that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light.
All of you guys in this kingdom that are not doing this true work.
Whoa.
All you guys call good evil.
Yeah. It's the opposite. What we're doing to them is evil.
Exactly.
But what they're doing with actual evil, they see it as a good thing. And it says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. That's right, man. You know, I believe.
Yeah,
you know,
stubborn, man.
You know, I think. You know,
It's all about your own opinion. When your opinion is, listen, man, you cannot, man, I don't know how else to say this, but you cannot set your opinion as an end all be all when you yourself knowingly know that you're not perfect.
Yeah, and
how
also-
can you
yeah.
have an opinion and say it's the truth when it's coming from an imperfect source?
Exactly, because that opinion did not just come out of nowhere in your mind.
No.
You actually learned it.
Yeah,
you
from
know,
somewhere.
exactly. You know, from the system, because the system is wicked, so it taught you how to think and have your own opinion. You gotta wash everything away, man.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly.
you getting brainwashed is actually a good thing. But guess what? Light for darkness or darkness, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you know, like when you say, you know, I'm brainwashing you, they look at that as a wicked thing, but
Yeah.
it actually means that I'm cleansing you from all the filthiness that you've learned from this system, man.
That's how you know people in this society will add their own emotions to a definition.
Yeah.
Brainwash? Oh, it's a cult. Well, the
Yeah.
cult first means to worship.
Yeah. Oh.
But okay, you're adding an
Right.
emotion to it. It's bad.
Yeah. Well, yo, the apostle said, well, you know, if you take that word cult, it comes from the word culture. Yo, so you know, right? You know, so if you say, you know, that cults, you know, are wicked, then you should also say the same thing about cultures. You know, because you know, different people got, you know, different cultures, you know, within those nations,
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
You know, they
exactly.
do things differently because that's how they grew up, man.
Yeah.
Okay, ultimately, all came from the Lord. The Lord separated everyone together. Within, you know, our culture, we have different customs, which goes back to the scriptures, man. You know. So cult means to worship, man. Who do we worship? The Lord Yahweh Shemashah, and then He gave us commandments that we gotta follow.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
And it says, verse 22, woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which sanctify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteous of the righteous from him. Therefore, as fire devoureth stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and despised.
This thing, man.
Huh.
There's gonna be a time where this is gonna be cast away.
Yeah,
Famine of the word, man.
yeah. And despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Verse 25. Therefore let the anger of the Lord kindle against his people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and had smitten. It's like, you know?
Yeah. Like, that's a heavy, that's a thunder slap, man.
Yeah.
And that's about to be really shown. Right now, yeah, you can tell the Lord is angry because
Yeah.
of the state of the world.
Yeah.
But really, wait till all hell is really, like Jacob's trouble, you really know the Lord's angry. You're gonna, even if you don't believe in it, or some of you Jakes that are atheists, you're gonna be like, somebody's angry here.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Because this is fucked.
Exactly, and that goes to show you what, you know, that we are the Israelites, because which people actually discipline their children, you know, like that?
Yeah, like
You know what
that.
I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like
very
they're
true.
cooking, you know what I mean?
They hit
I'm
them,
gonna
yeah,
give you
yeah.
that
Most-
slap, you know
a
what
lot
I mean?
of, even some of the heathens that come from that really keep the customs of the Eastern world,
Yeah.
they do it too. But these Edomites
Time
calling
out.
the police on you.
Time out.
Yeah, or time out. Yeah, go to your room
Yeah,
where
you
it's
know,
a
come stand on the wall.
You have your
Yeah,
snacks.
Yeah. The fuck is a timeout? Like, what is that kid learning?
Nothing. No discipline. No discipline.
And then it says, oh, it's the last here. Oh, 3 is the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the last verse of this topic. And it says, Therefore is the anger of the Lord kindled against his people, and he had stretched forth his hand against them, and had smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still.
I gotta
Still.
show you. I gotta show
Yeah,
you.
you know, well, that's how Jake talks. Eh?
Yeah, what do you
I'll
say?
get you still, you know.
Yeah. Funny.
But his hand is stretched out still.
Yo, it says the carcasses were out on the streets, right?
Yeah, yeah.
video that I want to show is unavailable.
Damn.
See?
They got rid of it right there.
Yeah, it's that one where I showed the guy was. I showed it to you, and the guy's leg was open, and the other one.
Ooh. Yeah.
Anyways, man.
I remember that video.
I'll make a video of myself and show it. But that was it on that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so with that, we're going to close up. We're going to say
Kahala Yahweh wa Yahushua.
Hashem,
Shem Rakah Kudash. Yeah.
and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth.
Yeah.
Death and destruction to the wicked kingdom and to the fifth of Israel.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah, I remember.